Hey, my name is Seb, and you might remember this game, Arma Reforger. Reforger had a rough launch, but after a couple of months now it's sitting at a decent amount of concurrent players and it's steadily growing at the moment. What you might find interesting is that the mods for this game are adding tons of new experiences and gives reason to pick it back up. And that's exactly what I did. Modders are adding tons of new content and new experiences to Arma Reforger, and let me just quickly show you 10 amazing mods coming out of the community. First, a quick disclaimer that many of these mods are work in progress and can quickly change, but such is the nature of mods. But this is what it looks like as of recording this video. Now let's get into it. Project REDLINE MD500 plus the MH60 Blackhawk by REDLINE and the REDLINE mod team. Technically, two mods but from the same group, and these mods introduce modern helicopters to Arma Reforger, and with that, much needed mobility to the game. I think that people seeking out to modernize Arma Reforger with modern equipment and vehicles should check these mods out. The helicopters control okay, but it's early days for these mods, so you can expect issues with the audio and maybe the models themselves, but as of right now, they do a good job and work fine in the multiplayer scenario. Currently the weapon reloading doesn't really work, but aside from that, two cool additions you can try out in your multiplayer scenarios. They even have a working AH6 for you to check out. Next up is a new vehicle mod. The STRYKER mod by the Space Rider currently consists of the IFV or infantry fighting vehicle, the STRYKER. The mod provides a few different variants in olive and camo, as well as with crows or with the MGS. The MGS mobile gun system is still a work in progress, so there will be a few issues, but it does fire, and so does the crows version. The STRYKER has capacity for plenty of soldiers in the back, and it's a nice addition to any unit that wants an IFV for BLUFOR in Arma Reforger. These IFVs will be excellent in any combined arms scenario in Arma Reforger, as they provide some armor and some firepower to the unit. RHS Status Quo by Red Hammer Studios, and you might know RHS from Arma 3. It's one of the longest running mod teams for the Arma platform. RHS Status Quo claims to remain true to its roots in the contemporary military, so RHS covers the Russian and the US military between 2000 to the present day, at least that's the goal. The mod is in development and RHS intends to deliver a new terrain as well as a story, probably in a mission form or a campaign form. We'll wait to see. The mod contains weapons, contains uniforms, attachments, helmets, and much more. If you loved RHS from Arma 2 and 3, you have to check out the one for Reforger, because I think they're gonna spend a lot of development time and make this mod a great addition to Arma Reforger. Revive System Alpha by Helion Gaming. This is a rudimentary but working revive system for Arma Reforger. The code for this mod was made from AI and then cleaned up by modders. It works so that unconscious players don't die until a 5-minute timer runs out. Players can revive each other using bandages. Reviving also resets the player's health, and players can still die depending on the damage they take. Unconscious players will drop their weapons when in a down state and will need to pick them back up again when they wake up. In Game Master, the GM can no longer heal players. GM controlled by AI will act as a player and go unconscious. There are still some bugs to be worked out, but it's worth mentioning that revives are being worked on in Reforger, and when they are properly implemented, I think a lot of milsim units will start to pick this game up. SPEIRA by Kotsu. It's a new game mode for Arma Reforger, and it reads like this. Strange events have been taking place in Evron. The local FIA has lost power of the island, and now foreign powers use the wonders found there to their own benefits. Help the FIA reclaim and save the island from those who seek to exploit it. To finish any of the scenarios, you need to follow the objectives provided. And there are traders existing around the map, and the currency they use is broken watches, which can be found on enemy bodies and in random containers. The scenario requires a few dependencies that you will need to get, such as the Stamina Bar mod and Simple Traders by Klamach, as well as RHS. It's a cool scenario using a currency system that you can then use to acquire weapons and equipment. I love the idea and I hope they just keep developing the game mode. M4A1 Block 2 and URG-I by Bacon 8008. With the M4A1 Block 2 and the URG-I upper assembly, we have some modern weaponry in Arma Reforger. The weapons comes in black and desert paint, and these guns will be in the US arsenal only. One issue is that there is currently no zeroing, but it might be added later according to the creator, so the weapons are capped at 300 meters. This mod is dependent on other mods. You will need to get suppressor systems and RIS laser attachments from the same creator, as well as attachments comp from BIDev Clamach. But by doing this, you get 2 laser pointers, a flashlight and suppressors. All are available in the weapon inspection menu, and the items will be in the arsenal. Enhanced Armor Radio System by Odd-Kupitchel 375. The Enhanced Armor Radio System is currently in development, but they have achieved a working radio mod for Reforger. EARS adds an AN-PRC 152 personal radio. This mod works well with the inspection function and has a ton of options and features. For instance, it has a working power option so you can broadcast longer distance, but at the cost of the battery draining quicker. The antenna can be folded in and the batteries are detachable so you can switch out the old ones. It even has a functioning LED backlit panel and encryption options. There are plenty of more features and the creator has a full rundown on his YouTube. So do check out this great mod and check out the link in the description. Worthy Islands by Chewy. Terrains for Arma Reforger are slowly being released as they often are bigger projects. I want to highlight this one as I think it's important to give some love to the map creators. Worthy Islands is a good playground for Arma Reforger. It's not the biggest, coming in at a little over 3 square kilometers, but there's a little bit of everything on it. It features cave and tunnel systems, an airfield, lots of wilderness, and some interesting points of interest. Worthy Islands might be suited for a wide range of game modes and scenarios, and the map has some cool ideas, and it's overall pretty well done for a first time terrain maker. Bloodlust 2 by Sorberex. Bloodlust we know from Arma 3, and it's basically amping up the blood and gore effects when units are hit. If you want Arma to be a bit more visceral in its presentation, this mod is worth checking out. It does not have any dismemberment or anything like that, but I'm sure you'll find other mods that you can combine with Bloodlust. Now over to this final mod of the video. HMAS Vampire 2 by the Space Strider. His second mod on the list, and the mod adds an entire warship. The cool thing about this is that it has usable cannons and it can even be driven from the captain's seat. With some upgrades, you can actually have a naval combat in Arma Reforger, something I didn't think was possible in Arma before, and for that I think it's worth mentioning. Now, these mods make the experience of Arma Reforger just that much cooler. I actually believe that the modding scene for Reforger is what's going to keep the game alive and growing for a good while until we get to Arma 4, and even beyond that. But that would, in my opinion, demand that Bohemia Interactive lowers the price of the game and make it an even more entry-level Arma experience. Well, I hope you found this video interesting. Please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to check out more cool mods for Arma, Arma Reforger and the platform. That's all from me. Stay safe.